many a times I've listed items, clocks, and reflective circuses. Reflective circuses. What is that? Or something. So I'm very excited about that. It has central heat. Central heat. It's just what I thought of, what came out of my brain and landed on the paper. These are things that I've come across in my 21-year reselling career that I thought I would tell you guys about in case you didn't know, in case this would help you. If you had this situation, you needed a solution, I'm going to give it to you. Hi guys, how's it going? How are you doing today? It is what, Monday, January 29th. I can't believe January's almost over. Crazy. Next month's my birthday month, and I'm not sure that one I want to get here, but it will regardless. How's it going, you guys? How are your sales? Are they good? Are you needing help? I've talked about it before. What to do? You got to get those promotions, promote your listings, get them on sale, get those coupons going, and you will get the sales. I've been killing it with sales. It's been such a blessing. Yeah, some of the items are not selling for what I wanted them to, but I'm still happy in general with the amount of sales and what I've been getting out the door, especially with the move coming up. All right, speaking of the move, we are not moving into that townhouse in Athena. Athena is out. She's the bomb is out. Forgot to mention on the original video that the reason why the townhouse is out is this property manager did not want to show us the townhouse before we applied. So we went through the application process and the screening process. We had to pay $60 for them to do the background and the credit check. And then they showed us the walkthrough of the home. They explained that the reason why they do that is they have a lot of people who asked us to see the home and then they never apply for it. Well, I've never applied for a home without seeing it. And we should have just asked if we could put the application in and not pay for the screening. The photos were elongated, so we thought it was a large living room and we could fit our furniture and it would be fine. By the time we walked in there, we're like, oh my goodness, it's so small. It was 1,100 square feet, but it was divided by 2 floors. So, 1,100 square feet can be pretty large if you have one level, but yeah, divided by 2 floors, it's pretty small. We're like, oh my gosh, we can only fit like a third of our furniture in there. And there was things about it that weren't great. I thought they had a door in the living room that I thought was for a hall closet. It wasn't. And then they had a door in the kitchen that I thought was for a pantry, and it wasn't. Both doors housed the water heater and the other, like the HVAC system. So that's all it was. I mean, you open the door and you just see all the wiring and then the water heater. And it was just wasted space. And so you have a door in your living room and a door in your kitchen that look like they're going somewhere and they're not. And we didn't even have a place to put the kitty litter box. I mean, it was so just too small for us. I mean, it would work. It would work for 2 people. But we like to have room and spread out. So that's why it didn't work. It wasn't just the size of the townhouse. It was also because Athena was such a small town, they wouldn't even deliver mail to our townhouse. They'd be, you'd have to get a P.O. box that you'd have to pay for. And then you'd have to go get your mail yourself. And that includes deliveries. I order a lot on Amazon and eBay. So I don't want to have to be going to the post office all the time for my packages and my mail. And there was just several things like that. There was other things that were not ideal. So word to the wise, you guys, if a property manager or somebody wants you to fill out an application and pay your screening fee before you can see their home, don't do it. I mean, we really liked the property manager lady. She was super nice and to us and very nice person. But I don't like that policy. I would never do that, and I have never done that in the past and won't do it again. What I would recommend is if they don't want to show it to you without application, go ahead and fill out the application. Don't do the screening fee and go see the place. But I still don't think that's right. I think you should be able to have a walkthrough and see a home to see if you want to apply for it. All right, that's my 2 cents. Now we just applied for a house in Hermiston, Oregon, which is about a half an hour from Pendleton. It's actually closer, not farther, from our family. It's going to shave out 20 to 30 minutes on our drive out to see my parents or my kids. My kids live in Beaverton. My parents live in Mossy Rock, Washington. Slow down, Cindy. And Beaverton, Oregon. And those are about an hour and a half apart. But we met the guy on Saturday. Super nice guy. He's the owner. He was working on the house since 2020. And he just got it done. And so he met with us. It's a cute house. It's small. It's a little bigger than our current home, but it's going to be tight. But it's a very nice home. It's remodeled. I think it's from the early 1900s or late 1800s. And back then, they didn't, unless it was like a grand home, they didn't have a lot of closets, or it certainly didn't have a master suite or a bathroom off the master, or, a lot of storage. Things that we have now. So there's only one bathroom, unfortunately. We really wanted to, but there's only one bathroom, but there's 3 bedrooms. The bedrooms are smaller. There's not a true master. That's another thing they didn't do. They didn't do like a larger room for a master. So we'll just pick the room we like the best. But everything is new and remodeled. It's really nice. There's a detached garage, so that's where my inventory would be going. And if we get this place, which I don't know why we wouldn't, I will give you guys a tour. We'll be moving in beginning of March, and obviously I wouldn't show you anything probably until we get it settled, but maybe I'll show you the move, kind of give you an idea what our move would be like. And I'm excited about having this garage just for my inventory. And it has electricity and has plugs, so I can plug in a heater. Or in the summer, I could do, not air, like a little air conditioner or something. So I'm very excited about that. It has central heat, and AC, not just AC, not the window units, it's central. So we're going to be selling our window units, and we're very excited. We're going to have to be creative with our furniture, and we might be selling some furniture. We've had a lot of furniture in storage when we had like a 1,500 square foot home, so I'm not sure that's all going to fit, but we will have 3 bedrooms. One's going to be my dedicated office, one's going to be our bedroom, and then the other one, we want it to be a guest room / whatever else we make it into, exercise room, game room. Could be an overflow for my eBay, because like I said, the rooms aren't very big. They're smallish rooms. So we'll just see. Once we get our furniture in there, we'll just kind of figure it all out. But very nice floors. And there is a brand new washer and dryer in the unit, so we could sell ours. And there's finally a dishwasher. We're not going to have 2 bathrooms, but we're finally going to have a dishwasher. I'm very happy about that. And there's like a big counter space in there with a lot of cabinets too. So it's going to work fine for us and our cats, and the guy will take our cats, so we're happy about that. Really nice guy. We should find out this week any day now, so we're very excited. And Hermiston, I'll put a little information up on the screen about Hermiston this time. We like Pendleton better. It's more of a charming and historic town than Hermiston is. Hermiston's just a city, a town. Doesn't have much charm, but it has a lot more of everything than Pendleton does. A lot more restaurants. There's a movie theater there. We do have a movie theater in Pendleton at the Wild Horse Casino, which we've been to, but it's going to have a lot more things for us to do and go to, so that part's nice. And we're even looking into finding a church too. So All right, what our topic is today is I'm going to give you a situation and a solution, and this has all to do with reselling. These are things that I've come across in my 21-year reselling career that I thought I would tell you guys about in case you didn't know, in case this would help you. If you had this situation, you needed a solution, I'm going to give it to you. So I wrote down a bunch. I hope we have time for them all, but let's get going here. All right, situation. And these are totally random, you guys. They're not in any order. There's not any order of importance or even any order of a category or a topic. It's just what I thought of, what came out of my brain and landed on the paper. So that's how we're going to do this. Situation, shipping selected by buyer is too high. For example, you have an item that maybe is a heavy item, and the buyer selected priority mail, but either, let's see, USPS Ground Advantage is cheaper, or even FedEx is cheaper. Select the cheapest one. I've never, ever had a buyer complain about me changing their shipping method. You can go scroll down eBay and just click on each one. You could see how much everything will be. You know, you put in the weight of your item, and then you select the cheapest shipping method. And one thing I didn't mention here is you should be having a handling fee. Go into your shipping preferences on eBay and add a handling fee. I have done this since the beginning. Mine is always $1. You can put whatever you want. This covers the cost of supplies, shipping supplies. You can make it $2. I wouldn't get too crazy with it. I mean, I think $1 is enough. I want the person to buy my item. I don't want them to not buy my item because my shipping and handling is too high. So I just do $1. That's never been a problem. $1 just covers the cost of maybe my poly mailer or my packing tape that I used for that item. So yeah, no shame in doing a handling fee, you guys. You should be adding that in. Or I guess you could figure that into shipping. If you're doing a flat rate, you could just add $1 to that as well. But change the shipping to make it cheaper for you. Now, that is in the case of, let's say the buyer paid $8 for shipping, and it costs, I'm just going to do round numbers, and it costs $9 to ship. So then I would find the cheapest, find one that's closest to $8. Now, if they picked one that was $9 and it's going to cost $9 to ship, use that. Don't change it. I'm talking about only in the case where the buyer didn't pay enough to cover what they selected. All right, so situation. Package weighs over what you specified it should weigh. Let's say you said it was going to be 5 pounds and it weighs 6 pounds. So that's going to bump up, you know, the cost to ship it. So what I do, I cut little corners. I do things to make, let's say the item weighs 2 pounds and 1 ounce, and it needs to weigh 2 pounds. So you know what I do on the box? I should grab a box and show you guys. Okay, this is a small box, but I cut off these flaps. And oftentimes that's what'll do it. I'm talking about in a big box, you know what I mean? A big box with big flaps, or medium box. But cut these off, and then just use, you know, this, so these won't be there, so it'll look like this when you ship it. And oftentimes that makes the 1 ounce difference. I've used a lot of packing paper or bubble wrap, and sometimes just taking out one piece of the bubble wrap, not the bubble wrap, the packing paper, that will do it. So that's another thing you could do to make it lighter, because once you go over that mark, over a pound or over 2 pounds or whatever, even by 1 ounce, that is going to bump up the cost of the item. So that's ways that you can save, get that item back down to the 2 pounds or whatever that is, so you don't have that extra ounce or two, and to make it the shipping cost to be more in line what you charged. All right, situation. Buyer received item partially damaged. This has happened to me. I thought I packed an item, accordingly, but the post office throws around their items, so it got broken. But if it's completely broken, I'm just going to refund them. I'm not even going to make them return it back to me. That makes no sense. Why do I want to have a broken item? And it's, well, I guess technically it's my fault it was broken, because I thought I packed it well, but I obviously didn't pack it well enough. It's also the post office fault too, but that's what they do with their packages. They throw them around. So I need to be smarter than the post office. I need to pack way more than I think I should, like double boxing and stuff. So I just refund them. If they send me pictures, and make sure you get pictures that the item is completely broken and damaged, I refund them in full, and that's the end of the story. Obviously say don't return the item. All right, if something's broken off, like it's a figurine, like just like it had a bird on and the bird broke off, and they could re-glue that, or something minor broke off, but they still want to keep the item, I will say, if you want to keep the item, I will be happy to give you a partial refund, and then we have to agree what that refund should be. And I always I'm very fair with them. I always want to give them what I think is fair. What I usually do is I do half of what like the item costs $20, I'll give them 10. But doesn't include the shipping. I'm not going to include the shipping on that. So, or if it's a very minor thing, maybe I'll do 5 or 7. It's all something you get a feel for, and you work that out with the buyer. Ask them what they think is fair, or you say to them, hey, is $7 fair? And I've never really had anybody say, well, no. They always say, yeah, sure. They're just happy to get somebody to listen to them and get some money back. They just want to be heard, and they want to get some compensation. Slow down, Cindy. Compensation for, the broken item. So I get that. So just always work with your buyers. I'd say 99% of the time, they're very happy to work with you and to get that partial refund or whatever it is that you guys have worked out fairly. Every once in a while, you're going to get those disgruntled people that just, you can't make them happy no matter what. And they're just going to be unhappy. But you have done your part to be kind and respectful to them. It's on them if they're not going to work with you or play ball, as they say.
Play ball!
Situation. I just discovered this because when I do my research, I'll see other listings of that same item I'm listing, and I saw that somebody did this. They had a glass. I should really demonstrate, you guys. They had a glass for sale, and they put a napkin in it to just make it look more opaque, look more solid. It's very tough taking pictures of clear glass. I just took a picture of an apothecary jar that I listed, and it's really tough to make that stand out, even on a black background. It's tough. Clear glass is one of the hardest things to take pictures of, to make it look good, make it look realistic, and make it not have so much glare to it. A lot of times the flash will pick up the glare. Very tough to take pictures of glass. So I really like that idea. They just put a napkin in there. So that's a solution for you guys. Something I just learned. I don't think I've used that yet. I actually forgot to do that on my jar. So it's a reminder myself to do that too. But you could also glass. I wouldn't use a white background. Use a gray background, maybe like mine's gray, or a darker gray, or even a beige or brown or black. I saw somebody had that apothecary jar I sold. Somebody had like a charcoal gray background. It looked really good. So light items like clear glass or a white item, you don't want to use a white background. I know it kind of goes without saying, but use another color background to make it really pop and stand out. So let's say you can't find boxes. Now you can pick up inexpensive boxes at Walmart and Dollar Tree and other places. But let's say you just want free boxes. So just go to Dollar Tree, go to Walmart, go to grocery outlet, go to any other supermarket. When we were at Buell, the boxes we went to, there's a local store called Don's there that we went to all the time. And they had all their boxes, their discarded boxes, on the side of their store, like in these big bins. And I'd go there all the time and grab them and use those for shipping. You want to make sure the box is clean, of course, and you don't want it to be a liquor alcohol box. Those will be returned to you by eBay. You're not allowed to ship anything in an alcohol or liquor box. For eBay anyway. I don't know how liquor distributors do. If it really has liquor in it, maybe that's okay. I don't know. But your post office most likely will return that item to you and say, cannot ship in this box. So do not pick any kind of liquor boxes, cocktails, vodka, beer, whatever. Don't ship in those boxes. It'll most likely get returned to you. So just be looking for your nice clean boxes, sturdy boxes that you could ship. All right, so let's say you have something to ship and it's a very long item, and you don't, I have all different kinds of sizes of poly mailers, and I recommend you guys get maybe 4 or 5 different sizes of poly mailers to fit any kind of item that you will ship. And I have the really large ones too, 24 by 24. But I think the ones below that are like 19 by 15 or something. And let's say you only had 19 by 15 poly mailers and the item is super long, just use 2 of them. And that works. And I also do that to protect something. Sometimes I have double poly mailered something. If I think it's not like a clothing item in a plastic bag, it's something that I might get damaged. I feel if it got wet or something. So I'll double bag it just to make sure. Use 2 poly mailers just to protect it. So that's definitely something you could do, but I recommend you get all different kinds of sizes of poly mailers if you ship different items like I do. Obviously, if you're just shipping clothing, you don't need to do that. I would get a 9 by 12 poly mailer and a 10 by 13, and then you're good. But if you're like me, I ship all kinds of different things, you know, calendars and posters and books and just things in different sizes. I need various sizes of poly mailers. I even have the little ones for like jewelry. So, yeah, it all depends what you're selling. All right, so I just talked about that a minute ago. If you're taking a picture of this, you're going to get glare. It's called glare. Even if you don't use a flash, use natural light, you're probably still going to get the glare from it. So 2 things I do to try and avoid that is I'll try and, let's say it's a clock. You know, clocks are hard to take pictures of because they're reflective. So I'll try and take my camera. This is my camera, by the way, you guys. This is my workhorse. It really is. I've had this for years, maybe 3 or 4 years. I love this thing. I highly recommend you use a camera for photos, not your phone. Several reasons for that. This is just easier. I could take my SD card out. I put in my SD card reader, and then I'm good to go. Nothing bad thing about the phone. There's a couple things. One is if you get a text or an email, that's a distraction. And then you want to go look at it. But for me, when we were in the motel when we first moved to Pendleton, I couldn't find my camera, so I'd use my phone. Well, the pictures from your phone are in a format called HEIC, I believe. And your computer, my computer anyway, won't read them. So I had to turn them all into like JPEGs. And there is a way to do that. You could transfer them all, convert them all to a JPEG. And that was just another step. It was a pain in the butt and I couldn't stand it. So I don't like using my phone for photos. Yeah, the camera on the phone is just as good as this camera. They're very clear and sharp pictures. I don't recommend it. I know there are plenty of people that take photos on their phone and list on their phone. I don't like it. I have lists on my phone. Like let's say my internet went out or we had a power outage and I couldn't use my computer. I have lists on my phone. Can't stand it. The one on the computer is much better, much more professional, has many more features, more things you can do. The one on the app is you're limited. It doesn't look very good. It looks very unprofessional in the listing. I can always tell when somebody has listed from their phone. Anybody can. You just go look at their listings and it's obvious. The font is weird. It's just one paragraph. You know, mine is all separate. I have a template. I don't like it. Only do it if I can. And then if I do list for my phone, I go to my computer later when I have access to it and I clean it up. I clean the listing up. I make it look better. So if you absolutely had to use your phone, sure, okay. But I think as a professional eBay seller, you should be using a computer, some kind of PC or laptop, desktop, laptop, even a tablet. Just that's what I feel. But I'm sure there are a lot of sellers that use their phone and they make, a lot of money on eBay. But I don't like it. So that's my opinion. Take it for what it is. Oh my gosh, I'm looking like I wrote a ton of things down. I get to make this into 2 videos, you guys. Okay, let's go. So anyway, if there's a flash in your photos, I kind of got off a track there. I take it from the side. I kind of like here, and I take the picture from the side. So that way I want to get a glare. And I've also taken it farther away, like the item is here. And I'm not taking it close. But those are 2 things you could do, and you probably won't get that glare from the flash. But plenty of times I've listed items, clocks, and reflective circuses. Reflective circuses, what is that? Reflective surfaces, and I've just left the glare from the flash, and then I just put that in my description. I said there is a glare from the flash. This is not a defect. And the reason why I put that is years ago, I had a girl ask me, she sent me a message, is that a defect or is that a glare? And I thought it was kind of obvious that it was from the flash, but I guess not. She thought maybe it was a chip. I said, no, that's from the flash, the glare from the flash. It's not a defect. So ever since then, I put in my description, may have glare from flash. This is not a defect, just so you cover all your bases. eBay, right, I've had this, and I know it hasn't just happened to me, you guys. I used to just upload all my photos to eBay on my listing template, and I usually take more than 10. Sometimes I've taken up to 20, and I just list them all up there. Well, there's a glitch on eBay's new list. Well, it's a newish listing form. It's like about a year or 2 old, and it just goes around and around and around. You got the circle. It's loading, and it will never load. And if you hit the undo button at the top, sometimes your pictures just go away, and I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. So I use a photo editing software that's already built in on my computer through my photo program. And I do all the corrections to my photos, meaning cropping or making them lighter or whatever I want to do to make them look the best. And then I upload them to eBay. And still sometimes that circle happens. So then if that's the case, I upload them half at a time, maybe like 5 at a time. But that's what I do for that. That's my solution. I do all my editing in my photo editing program. Everybody has one of those. It comes with every computer. You don't have to do a fancy one. I used to use Picasa years ago. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. And I liked it. It's really good. It's still around. But I don't need that. I just open my photo in the photo editing. I do my cropping. If it needs to be lighter or have more contrast or whatever, I do it in that. And then I upload those photos to eBay. So that's my solution to that. So situation, can't use priority box. Okay, guys, I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I've had this happen a couple times and it's very frustrating. All right, ever since this is my last tip for today, I'll do the rest on another video. Ever since Ground Advantage has become a thing, they don't want you to use USPS box. You can't use it for USPS Ground Advantage. They will return them. I had 2 things returned to me and I had to reprint the label. It was terrible. So, all right. I'm just trying to get rid of these. I have a lot of them that I got free on the website. I put them in a poly mailer. I shouldn't be telling you that. I'm sorry. I hope nobody from USPS Grand Advantage is listening. But it might actually be okay with them. They just don't want to see that it says USPS on it, party mail, because it's not just USPS now. it's they're merged with UPS. So I think they don't want you to use it because it's confusing. It could be going UPS or it could be going USPS. And if it says priority mail, that's just strictly USPS. So I get why they don't want you to use it. But I'm using up what I have if I need to. Most of the time I'm using a plain box or a poly mailer. But if I absolutely have to use it, like that's the only size that'll fit the item I'm selling, I use it and I put it in a poly mailer. I hope I don't get in trouble. All right, you guys, to be continued. I wrote down much more, but I hope that it helped you, gave you some great tips and ideas. If you run into these situations, I gave you some solutions. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a great day. It's actually a pretty sunny day here today. And it's actually 46 degrees. For a while there, we were having -1 degree or 2 degrees. And it was very cold. So happy it's warming up. We're going to have to move in March, but it shouldn't be too bad. So it's much better than moving at 100 degrees like when we moved to Pendleton. All right, you guys, have an awesome day. I would love it if you liked and subscribed. That really helps me on YouTube. If you want to share this content, I'm all for that. Send me a comment. Tell me if you guys like this kind of information. All right, love you guys. Talk to you next time. See ya. Bye.